There is a stretch of ocean between Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda that the world cannot stop talking about. Ships have vanished there. Planes have dropped from the sky. Governments have opened files on it. Insurance companies have studied it. Hollywood has made films about it. Now forget all of that. Because somewhere in the heart of Africa, older than any Western legend, deeper than any ocean mystery, and almost completely ignored by the rest of the world, there is a place that makes the Bermuda Triangle look like a children's story. A river so vast and so violent that it has swallowed expeditions whole. A creature named by 10 countries, independently, in 10 different languages. And a floor that no instrument has ever reached. The Congo River Basin covers 1.1 million square miles of Central Africa. Larger than Alaska. Larger than Western Europe combined. It is the second largest rainforest on Earth, a cathedral of green so dense that in many places the canopy blocks out the sky entirely, and the floor below sits in permanent twilight. Scientists call it the lungs of Africa. It generates its own weather. It is, in every meaningful sense, a world within a world. Running through the center of it is the Congo River, the deepest river in the world. In certain stretches, its floor sits 220 meters below the surface. That is deeper than a 70-story building is tall. No light reaches those depths. No one has mapped what lies down there. Its currents reach speeds of 12 miles per hour, fast enough to drag a swimming person under before they can turn around. The Inga Rapids near Kinshasa are among the most violent stretches of freshwater anywhere on Earth. In 2004, a Japanese team became the first people in recorded history to survive running the full length of those rapids. Before that attempt, no one had tried. Not because no one was curious. Because everyone who looked at those rapids understood immediately that surviving them was not something you could rely on. The fishermen of the Lukula swamp region speak of the river the way you speak of a dangerous neighbor, with accuracy, with economy, with the specific detail of someone who has had to learn these facts in order to stay alive. They describe boats that return empty. Not sunk, not capsized, returned. With the paddles still inside. The morning's catch still in the basket. And the man who took them out, nowhere to be found. The river has a different category for those it takes. And it is not the category of the missing. In 1816, the British Admiralty sent a well-equipped expedition under Captain James Kingston Tuckey to explore the river's interior. Professional. Experienced. Sponsored by one of the most powerful naval forces in the world. They did not make it past the cataracts. Fever took many of his men. The river stopped the rest. His journals describe a growing sense of something resisting them. Not a creature. Not a force they could name. Just the feeling that this river was not a thing to be explored. It was a thing to be endured. And endurance had limits. Before any European explorer ever set foot near the Congo River, the Bantu peoples of Central Africa had already given a name to what lived inside it. Mokele-Mbembe. In the Lingala language, the name translates to 4 words. 1. Who stops the flow of rivers. Not a fish. Not a crocodile. Something that can stop a river. Descriptions have remained consistent across 2.5 centuries, across dozens of different ethnic groups, 10 different countries, who had no way to compare accounts. A long-necked, smooth-skinned animal. The size of an elephant or larger. Small head. Long tail. Brownish-gray in color. Lives in the deepest bends of the river. Territorial, not predatory, it does not eat what it kills. And when it is close, the water around it goes quiet. The first Western written record comes from 1776, a French missionary documenting enormous footprints deep in the interior. A meter wide. Deep claw marks. Belonging to nothing in any known taxonomy. In 1913, a German colonial officer named Captain von Stein returned from Cameroon with accounts from multiple tribal groups, separated by hundreds of miles, speaking different dialects, who had never met, all describing the same creature, in the same rivers, with the same behavior. He filed his report. Germany went to war the following year. His notes were buried in an archive for decades. They survived. In the 1980s, American biologist Roy Mackal led 2 expeditions funded in part by the National Geographic Society. He went to either find the creature or disprove it. He found neither. But what he found, hundreds of independent accounts, consistent across countries and languages and generations, troubled him enough that he wrote a book. He called it, carefully, A Living Dinosaur? The question mark was deliberate. Over 50 expeditions have gone into the Congo Basin looking for Mokele-Mbembe. None have confirmed it. None have conclusively disproven it either. The most likely explanation is misidentification. Elephants swimming with trunks raised, large crocodiles, hippos moving unusually, in dense vegetation, with low visibility, any large animal can become a legend. These are reasonable points. They deserve to be stated plainly. But biologists studying fish on opposite banks of the Congo found populations genetically diverging, evolving separately, as if the river between them is an ocean. In a river where known species do things science did not predict, an unknown large animal becomes harder to dismiss. Science cannot confirm Mokele-Mbembe. It also cannot reach the bottom of the river where the creature is said to live. Both of those things are true. And both of them matter. The Bermuda Triangle has Lloyd's of London. It has U.S. Coast Guard reports and documentary series on every streaming platform. When something mysterious happens there, the world notices. The Congo Basin has none of that. It has local communities who have been passing down consistent, specific knowledge about what lives in their river for 2.5 centuries, and a scientific record of 50 failed expeditions that could neither confirm nor deny what those communities have been saying all along. It has a creature named in a language most of the world has never heard, by people whose testimony the world has generally not bothered to seek. The Bermuda Triangle gets the documentaries. The Congo Basin gets the silence. But silence, in a place this old and this deep, is not the same as an absence of answers. It is simply what the river sounds like when it is keeping its secrets. 2.5 centuries of consistent accounts. 50 expeditions. A river floor no one has seen. A creature named by 10 countries, independently, in 10 different languages. And the river has not proven them wrong yet. This is Echoes from the Bush. Where the stories the world forgot, have always been waiting.